Hello friends, Blaine here. Today I will show you guys a build that I really enjoy playing recently. Very good survivability and make 400% solo run very accessible with Sharen. I will go in depth into the build, what gun to use, reactors and so on, so I expect a long video this time. For solo run, I am using RCF in combinations with KGL and the Polar Night set. Now this is a bit unusual, but I will explain each part along the way. My solo run Sharen will not be fast, but rather focus on the personal enjoyment to the game and the playstyle overall. Anyway, let's get right into it. RCF is a mod that can change your first ability into a ranged skill shot with a shorter cooldown. Sharen can play safer from afar with it in combat. However, with the current state of the game, it is quite underperforming since Nexon reduced its damage by about 600% skill power modifier. Now for folks who want to start on Sharen, RCF should be the last one to focus on. OE or VD are better options thanks to the damage output and wave clear. If you like a support Sharen, then BMR will be your friend. However, if you just want to have fun with RCF or testing build like me, then I hope that this video can give you some valuable insights. Alright, so for build, this is what I'm using currently for Sharen. Hyperfocus is the new mod that was added into the game recently. Now you may wonder why Hyperfocus is in this build. I will leave it for later when we discuss more on the Polar Night set, so it will make better sense. But the rest of them should be pretty much self-explanatory: max CDR, max crit and crit damage, and HP. Next is the guns. KGL will be the go-to one. We will sacrifice the crit rate bonus from Blue Beetle, but in return gains the immense fire rate from KGL. You don't really need to have the exact build like me, but you must have the two most important mods for this build to work: the fire rate and the chill attack. This gun is a monster when it comes to crowd control, and with how fast each land can hit enemies, chill attack is perfect to keep them in places for you to do your work, which is skill spamming. The new update let us have two more weapons added into one reactor, so it is easy and understandable to have KGL added into this one. Now you can go with your own favorite options, but to my knowledge and experience, I will not personally recommend CDR as RCF provides low CDR for spamming already. Okay, so this is the star of the show, the Polar Night set. At first, it seems like Sharen will not get anything from it because it had chill skill power implemented, but what I did not pay attention to before was its foreset ability. And it states that for each frostbite stack upon enemies, firearm crit damage and skill crit damage will increase at a 30% chance for a maximum of 10 stacks. When defeating frostbite enemies, inflicts additional damage equals to 12.2% max HP on other enemies at a 30% chance. We will solely focus on the skill critical damage part of it, because at max stack we will have 60% crit damage, which is a really nice boost to Sharen as she had high crit damage to begin with. Sharen is an electric character, so what we need is a weapon that can provide frostbite to enemies at a short amount of time. And this is why KGL fits perfectly into this build. With chill attack and high fire rate, this gun will basically provide an infinite frostbite enemies, meaning that you will have that extra 60% in combat all the time. Of course, every build has its pros and cons, and Polar Night is not an exception. For pros, 3 out of the 4 pieces of Polar Knight set will give you max HP stat that provide a big chunk to your HP overall. Even if you get heavily focused on, you will not go down that easily. Believe me on that. Now the downside of this is that with how constant KGL damages the enemies, you will not get to benefit the recover MP up combat options from it, which means you will need to get into the fight to collect those MP orbs instead of staying far back all the time. During my runs, you can see that I often go straight into enemies to get the orbs, then head back out for positioning, and that is what you should do with this build. Another downside of this is that it does not provide any defensive stat, so you'll be left up with a low overall defense, but it can be compensated with the inversion reinforcement. Okay, now that everything has been explained, this mod is easy to understand as it provides extra crit damage if our gun can land a crit. It only lasts for 10 seconds, but KGL can make it permanent as it lands crit very frequently because of how fast it is. At the end of the day, you will see yourself at almost 6 times critical damage, which if you are lucky, your Z will one-shot those big guys easily. But say, what if you don't need the mod or you don't have it? Well, even though it is fun to play, Hyperfocus may not be the one that gives out the highest damage output out there. If you are looking to min-max your damage, here are some replacements you can go for as long as the Polar Knight playstyle doesn't change. For combo, spamming your Q will be the go-to, and here are the other 2 main combos you can use. One will be for fast clear and one will mainly for the big guys and bosses. Alright, I think I covered basically everything for my build. If there are things that need more explanations, then please do let me know and I will answer them as soon as possible. I know this is a bit longer than usual, but I hope it can provide helpful information to you guys out there in playing as Sharen. Thank you for stopping by and stay to the very end of this video, and I'll catch you again in the next one. Thank you, bye bye.